I never imagined that my own happiness could provoke fear in my marriage. My name is Daniel, I'm 36 years old, and for most of my life I thought that joy was something we shared, something that strengthened our bond. But that night I realized I was completely wrong. My wife Laura and I had been married for 10 years. 10 years of routine, compromise, arguments, and, I thought, love. She always had a sharp eye for details, an instinct for reading people, but somehow she never noticed the quiet ways I tried to make myself content. I was careful, always bending toward her expectations, always accommodating her moods. I thought it was enough. I believed that as long as I followed the rules, as long as I smiled when she wanted, life would continue without surprises. That illusion shattered the night I came home with a lightness in my step, a brightness in my voice that Laura hadn't heard in years. I just returned from a week-long trip to the mountains with some friends. No phones, no schedules, just the wind, the trails, and conversations that didn't involve bills, deadlines, or who forgot to take out the trash. I returned feeling alive, lighter than I had in a decade. I stepped into the kitchen, humming a tune I hadn't realized I remembered, and saw Laura scrolling on her phone. She looked up, one eyebrow arched, almost suspicious. "You're home early," she said, her tone flat, almost rehearsed. I smiled, trying to share the feeling, the energy I had brought back with me. "I am, and I feel incredible," I said, letting the word hang in the air. In that moment, I noticed the tension that I had almost forgotten could exist between us. Laura's lips tightened. There was a flicker of something I didn't want to see in her eyes, an unease. "Incredible?" she repeated, her voice sharper now. "What are you talking about?" I laughed softly, hoping to diffuse the weight I felt pressing between us. "I don't know. I just feel alive. Happy actually. Like really happy. It's been a while since I felt this good." Her gaze hardened. "Happy, without me?" she asked. I froze for a fraction of a second. Not because I had done anything wrong, but because the words I was about to speak could not be softened. "No," I said calmly. "Not without you. But it's a happiness that's mine. I discovered it this week, and I didn't realize how much I'd been holding myself back from it." The silence was immediate and suffocating. Laura didn't move, didn't speak, but the expression on her face said it all. A storm was forming, one I hadn't anticipated. "Holding yourself back, from me?" she whispered. "Yes," I replied, trying to keep my tone even. "From being truly myself. From feeling like I have space to breathe and enjoy life without always worrying about everyone else's expectations. I'm not blaming you, Laura. This is on me. But I can't ignore it anymore." Her hands tightened around her phone, the knuckles white. "So, all these years you've been pretending?" Her voice was almost a growl now, low and dangerous. I shook my head. "No pretending. Just surviving. Doing what I thought I needed to do to keep peace. But peace doesn't feel like life. It feels like waiting for something to break." The moment stretched, heavy and trembling. I saw her chest rise and fall, fast and shallow, and knew that the truth had landed like a hammer. "You're happy without me," she said again, this time as a statement, not a question. I met her gaze, unwavering. "I'm happy with life. With myself. I'm not saying I don't love you. I am. But love isn't supposed to feel like a cage. It's not supposed to feel like fear every time I smile or laugh too loudly." Her eyes glistened with unshed tears, and I could see the familiar mix of disbelief, anger, and hurt she carried. She stepped back slightly, almost as if she needed space from the words, from the revelation she feared the most. That my joy, my happiness, had been growing independently, in ways she had never nurtured or noticed. I don't understand," she whispered, her voice breaking now. "How can you be happy like this? After everything?" I took a deep breath. "Because I chose it. I chose to stop waiting for life to happen and start living it. I chose not to let fear dictate my days. I chose to embrace the moments I have instead of letting them slip by while I tried to fit into someone else's expectations." Her hands fell to her sides, trembling. She opened her mouth, closed it, then opened again, struggling to form the words that had eluded her until this moment. "So, this is it? You're telling me the truth now?" "Yes," I said softly but with certainty. "I am telling you the truth I should have acknowledged a long time ago. I can't undo it. And I can't stop feeling it. I hope you can understand that this isn't a betrayal. It's a revelation. For both of us." Her breath caught in her throat. She turned slightly, staring out the window at the fading light, as though she were trying to measure the distance between what we were and what had become. You don't need me for this?" I shook my head slowly. "No, I don't need anyone to validate this feeling. But I wanted you to hear it, to know that I'm not hiding anymore. I'm not afraid anymore. That's why I had to be honest. That's why I had to say it aloud, even though I knew it would scare you. The air between us was thick, a mix of relief, fear, and a trembling recognition that nothing would be the same again. I saw the lines on her face deepen as she processed, as she realized that the life she thought she controlled had quietly grown beyond her grasp. And in that moment, I understood that the truth I feared telling the most was the very one that could either save us or end us entirely.